Hello, everybody. Good evening. How is everybody tonight? Welcome to my mystery card night. My name is Julia Green. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is mystery card night. So, under the event on my Stamping with Julia page, there was a list of materials for you to gather so that you could create a card alongside me. So, hopefully, you have gathered all your materials that you need. And yeah, we're going to make a card. So let's see, where's my list of materials? There we go. So here's what you needed. You needed a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock to coordinate with your DSP. You need 2 pieces of DSP measuring 4 inches by 5 1/4. You need a 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 white or lighter color of cardstock. I used lighter color cardstock in all mine. You're going to need tear and tape, unless you're really good with the liquid glue, and a suite or a bundle to decorate your card, okay? So take a screenshot of that. If you're out there, tell me, say hi, okay? All right, so I have my 4-inch piece of DSP here. I'm going to cut it by 5 1/4, and then we need another piece by 5 1/4. And then we end up with that little piece at the end that I usually cut into 2 little strips. I'm not going to do that with this one tonight. I'm just going to stick that over there. All right, so you're going to need your cutter. That was the other thing that I forgot to tell you that you were going to need. So you're going to need your cutter, okay, whatever whatever cutter you use. I use our Stampin' Up! Cutter because I just love our Stampin' Up! Cutter. So you're going to take your 2 pieces of DSP, okay, and you're going to line them up and cut them in half at a diagonal, okay? So you're going to take your first piece, line it up so that your point and your point are in your cutting. And you're just going to cut that in half, okay? Now just set that over aside, okay? Now take your second piece and turn it over and cut it, okay? And same thing, you're going to get corner to corner. All right, so now you have 4 pieces of your DSP, but what you need is two pieces to go. Now why am I not having 2 pieces that are going to do it right? Why did that not work out? I turned it over. I ended up with all of them the same way. All right. So what you need is you're going to cut the 2 pieces, and you'll end up with the 2 pieces like this. Okay? So you're going to end up with your 2 pieces of cardstock, okay, that you've cut in half. Now you're going to take that 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece. But first you're going to take your DSP and you're going to turn it over. And we are going to put tear and tape on these 2 sides, not the side that you cut. All right, and I'm going to take, and you want to get right down to the edge, and I went right off the edge like that, okay? And I'll show you why, because I want to be able to get the angles really well. So we're going to cut that one off there, and then we're going to do the same thing up this side. Just like that. Let's put some on this one. And you're going to obviously put this on the opposite side that you want to show. Just like that. And then up the side. Yep, the video will be up, Deb. Yeah, And I think to post the samples this time, I'm going to do a separate post with pictures of my samples, and then that way there you guys can post your pictures. All right. All right. So now we're going to take this and we're going to cut these at an angle. So by running that right over the edge, it brought us right down to the corners. All right. And if your snips get a little icky, it's because you're going to be cutting the glue. But you can take a little bit of you can take an alcohol wipe or a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and it'll get the sticky right off your snips. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. And I am going to take my other side off my tear and tape. And this usually works pretty good. This was the most time-consuming part. I probably should have done this part on some of the cards, because this is really the most time-consuming part. All right, so you're going to take one of your angles and you're going to bring it over onto your piece of DSP. And I did leave a little 1/8 of an inch of the cardstock underneath showing. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with that side. All right. Let's go ahead and pull this off. I don't know why that didn't cut right though, because I did it several times earlier today and it always worked by just flipping it over. I understand why I ended up with all of them going the same angle. Gonna make sure that doesn't happen when I do the rest of them. Oh, I can hear the wind out there again. All right. So then you're going to take this one and you're going to lay it so it crisscrosses. We're going to lay it right up on the bottom there. And then it'll just go up the side here. Whoops. I want it to go all the way over. So just have a little bit, that 1/8 of an inch or so, peeking out. Just like that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So you've made this cute little pocket. And so your other piece of cardstock that you cut at 2, actually this was 3.5 by 4 3/4, should fit right down in there. You might have to pull it up a little bit, but it should fit right down in there. If for some reason you're having a little bit of an issue and it does fit pretty tight, I did have to cut mine a little bit. So I'm actually going to change this to 3. Instead of being 3.5, I think it should be 3 1/4. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off, because then I think it'll fit in there a little bit better. Yeah, much better. So this should be 3.5 by 4 3/4. So I would cut it down to 3 1/4. I'm sorry. I thought I did 3.5, but 3 1/4. Anyway. All right. So this is going to be your little slide that's going to go in. And now you're just going to decorate. So I have some things here that I punched out to decorate with. And I'm going to punch out some more. Where are they? Right here. And I apologize because on my sample, I used the Keeping Tabs stamp set, and I used the Keeping Tabs punch, and then I went on the website and discovered that it's no longer available. So it must have been on the last chance list, and I missed it because I did not see it. But the Tri-Flower punch with the little leaf. That is on the last chance list, and it is marked down to $16.80. So if that's something that you want to add to your collection. I'm going to punch a bunch of these out because I need a bunch. And then I need some leaves. So punch some leaves out. 1, 2. I need 3 leaves. Let's grab another leaf here. Where'd the leaf go? It's in there. There it goes. All right. And I might have to punch some more flowers out, so, but we'll see. All right. So I took the tab part, and I'm going to put that right up here on the top of my little thing. And then that way there, you know that you're, you know that you need, you know you need to pull that out. So I put a little liquid glue. Sometimes it's probably easier to watch later, Kelly, because then you can like stop and go. Right? That's actually what I do when I watch a lot of people, is I just watch it and then I go back and watch the replay afterwards, and that way there you can do the stop and go thing. All right, so somewhere here I have happy birthday. I'm going to stamp that. And again, I apologize for using this stamp set and punch because until I got going, I didn't realize that it was not available anymore. But you know, you can use whatever you have in your collection. This is the decorating part, so you can use whatever you want for the decorating part. I'm already running out of places to put stuff. All right, so this I'm just going to put across the front. And I did it right here. Alrighty, and then let's decorate. Now I did put this guy on there. So we went down to 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut this at 3. And I'm going to use the other side of the paper with the little polka dots. And that'll just decorate the bottom of my little slide part that goes in and out. Now you could put a gift card on this, which would be really cool. You could do whatever you want. Whoops, I'm getting caught on the back there. That's where I was getting caught. So, isn't it cute? I think it's pretty cute. All right, so let's go ahead and make some flowers. So I punched a bunch of these out, and then I grabbed a bone folder, and I like to just turn these, and it gives them a little bit of dimension. I just roll them over the end of the bone folder. Okay, I'm going to grab some glue dots, and we're going to layer these 3. So we're going to put this one in the center of that one, and then another glue dot and put it in the center of that one. And that's going to go over here. Let's put a little glue on the back of my leaf. New liquid glue, so it's really gushing. All right, and I'll put a little. Oh, I actually did this with a dimensional. Let's cut a little dimensional here and put that on the back of my flower. Putting that down there. Whoops, over far enough so you can see the happy birthday. Then let's see, I did an orange. Isn't this paper really pretty? This is part of the To Market paper. I bought the paper, but I didn't buy the stamp set and other stuff that went with it. I just bought the paper because I really liked the paper. And I'm going to show you another one later using this same paper that came out pretty cute, I think anyway. All right, so this one, we're going to put the leaf over here, and we'll put the flower. And this one I just did the flower flat, so I'm going to grab another glue dot. I'm just going to put the flower right there. So let's put him in our little slide pocket. Okay, and then I did one more flower down here, but I need some smaller flowers. What do I do with my, let's punch out 3 of the orange and 3 of the Blackberry Bliss. This is really, like, not a color combination I probably would have done on my own, but I do really like it. Okay, so I don't need these big guys. I'm gonna put those over there. I need a medium one and a small one of these two with the green leaf. All right. So on this one, we got the leaf going this way. And turn, give those a little curl with the bone folder. Hi, Linda. Hey, Sandy. Hi, Hazel. That's fine if you guys, it's fine. The video will post afterwards, and you guys can always, you know, stop and go afterwards, and then that way there will be easier for you. And what I'm going to do this time, because I've yet to figure out why people can't post, but what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to post pictures of mine, and then in that post you should be able to post pictures of yours. Okay, so now I grabbed some embellishments, and these guys are the backed pearl trio, and I did this one with the orange, and then these two got the purpley color in the centers. And there you have it. So there's the first one. So it's basically comes out to be a cute little pocket card. And like I said, you could put a gift card down in there. Whatever. You could put a little, you know, you can write your sentiment or whatever in there. But then here's there's my little sample. All right. So there's number 1. Now, number 2. Let's go on to number 2 here. Sorry, I got a frog going on. And I, again, apologize for using the keeping tabs. I did not know that it wasn't available until after I did the card. So the Wintry Treetops stamp set and the dies are no longer available. The stamp set, I actually think the dies might still be available. The stamp set is only available in French. So there's that. So yeah, so this one you're going to need, so this is your 4, let's do the supplies again. So you've got 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You've got the 2 pieces of DSP. You've got a 3 1/2, which we've decided should be 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So you might want to change that. And then your stuff to decorate with. Okay. So let's bring it back to this. All right. So we're going to need our 2 pieces of DSP. I am going to cut this one in half because I'm going to use this at the... Actually, I'm not going to. I have something else planned for this one. All right. So then you're going to cut these 2 pieces of paper at the diagonals. So you're going to take this one like this, and you're going to cut it at the diagonal, okay? So you end up with 2 like that. Now you're going to flip it over, and you want to cut it at the diagonal. Okay, make sure you meet your points. Okay, so there's going to be my 2 that I need, and then you'll have 2 that you could use for another card at a later time, or you could just use the diagonals. While I have this out, I'm going to cut this down to 3 1/4 because I had it at 3 1/2. So it's 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, and then our card base, and then stuff to decorate. All right, so now you're going to want to take and flip these over to the back side, and you're going to put tear and tape on these 2 outside edges, not the edges that you cut. Okay. And I'm going right off the edge with my tear and tape because I want to cut at angles, because I want my angles to lay nice and flat. Okay, so I am literally going right off the angle, and then we're just going to cut it at a nice angle. Okay. Your glass mat would be really good to be using for this because you're going to go right off. And so you'll be able to pick it right up off the glass mat if you have a glass mat. If not, you have what I'm using and it works as well. All right, now we're going to cut these. And we're going to cut the angles. And like I said, if your snips get gooey, just take an alcohol prep pad or an alcohol wipe, and it'll just take the sticky off. Okay. Hi, Patricia. Hey, Miss Sandy. All right, so now here's your base, your card base, which was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're gonna peel the sticky off of our other side of our 2-sided tape here, of our tear and tape. Now you can buy tear and tape a little bit smaller than this. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell the smaller one, so, oh no, I just lost the cap to my Take Your Pick tool, and I think it went in the garbage. Okay, so later on, guess what I'll be doing? I'll be dumping out my garbage looking for my Take Your Pick lid. Yeah, just picture me later. Maybe I'll take a picture of that when I dump the garbage out and I'm looking for my Take Your Pick cap. Jeez. All right, so then we're going to lay this down. I did leave like 1/8 of an inch of my card base sticking out. Whoops, that didn't come off. This is the most time-consuming part right here. All right. And we're going to lay this one this way. And again, 1/8 of an inch up across, and then just like that. And then you have your little pocket, so you're all set. And then all you're going to do is decorate. Whoops. Slide your little piece inside. Come on. There we go. And then you're just going to decorate. Okay. So for this one, I took the 1 3/4 inch circle. Okay. And I'm going to fold that circle in half. And I'm going to take my bone folder and give myself a really nice crease there. And this is what we're going to put on for our tab, so people know that you're supposed to be pulling the center out. just like that. Oops, got a little glue on there. All right, now I thought it would be fun to put this on in there because you can sort of see the little bird. So let's see if we can cut this piece down. So we know that's 3 1/4. So this time we're going to do 3 inches. So let's do 3 inches. And let's see about how far I want to come down. About 1 inch. So let's take 1 inch off the bottom of this. And now let's see if it'll fit underneath. Very cute. So on this one, we're going to put this on this side. So on this one, you would write or attach. I thought this one would be really cute to do like a little gift card for some birdseed. Wouldn't that be cute? All right, so let's go ahead and put our little inside piece inside, just like that. So it worked out perfect. I got the little bird in there. Okay, this is going to go on the front, but first I wanted to stamp sending thanks and much love. And again, I apologize for picking stamps that you no longer can get. So, that was not my intention. All right, I'm going to grab basic gray. And we're going to stamp that right over here. Whoops. And it came out at an angle, but that's okay. Let's see if I can. This is one that might be mounted crooked, evidently. Let's just put that one on there. We're fine. It's all good. It's a handmade card. All right, we're going to put that right down here. We are going to, whoops, I got all crooked here. Let's grab some dimensionals for my little bird that I die cut out of the paper. But again, if you don't have the die cuts, this paper is staying. So if you don't have the die cuts, you still could fussy cut the birds out of the paper, which would be okay too. And we're going to put this guy right there. Isn't that cute? All right, so that was our next one. And I like how I did the birds coming up out. So, and you still could write there your salutation, but you have the whole back side that you could write stuff on. Okay, so there's number 2. All right, what did I do? Oh, here's number 3. All right. Number 3, we're going to be doing with the birthday suite. Wildflower Birthday that is in the mini catalog. So I have my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock. I have, and I cut 2 of these out. I cut 2 of everything out because I knew once I cut my paper, I was going to end up with 2. So you're going to take your 4-inch. So we're going to do, let's get that out there. All right, we need 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then you have, I'm going to flip this over. It's got the little stripes on the bottom, and we're going to cut that in half. While I have my paper out here, I'm going to cut this little guy down to 3 1/4. And I apologize for that. I thought I had all my measurements correct. Oops. I've got some embellishments going on here, but we've got to cut these. So you're going to line this up corner to corner, cut down through. Now you're going to flip this one over and do corner to corner. And you've got your two, just like that. And then you've got these two. And on these two, your cakes are going to be upside down. So these you might want to use on some other cards. So that's something to keep in mind, that directional paper makes a difference as well if you have a directional pattern. All right, let's hurry up and put some tear and tape on these guys. Thanks, Linda. It's funny when I get going with these, I get going and then it's like, oh, I want to make this one. Oh, I want to make it with this one. But stick around because I got some cute ones after this. I've got a few more that I think you guys will really like. The next one's pretty cute. So stick around. All right, let's do this. Ooh, that was my husband. He's cooking out on the grill. I love him to death, but he just likes torturing the bear. Oh, Deb. That's crazy. I'm sorry you're not feeling good. All right, my scissors are getting sticky. And I didn't grab some alcohol. But, all right, I can't get that off my fingers. I can't believe I'm going to be dumping the garbage out later to try to find the cover to my Take Your Pick tool. That was not in my plan. Could you do one on one side and the back side and make two? Yeah, you can. I mean, you can make two normally, but this paper was directional, so this paper's not going to cooperate for that to make two. But I'll probably just use the paper on another card and just do like half the page and decorate it that way. All right, so let's put this one on. Again, let's leave that little bit of an edge. I always, you know me, I like the layer look. Whoa, listen to the wind. We lost power at work last night. Well, that was interesting. Ugh. It's actually I was pretty scared. I couldn't believe how dark that building is with no lights. And the generator did come on. It felt to me like it took forever for the generator to come on, but I guess it came on pretty much simultaneously. But because it was so dark, it was pretty freaky. I was glad all the residents were pretty much in bed. All right, and then this one is going to go to this side. And again, leave that little bit peeking out. Now, I went ahead and I cut, oh, we got to cut this guy at 3 inches. I went ahead and cut out some things using the die cuts that go with this set. There's a cute little thing to make a banner in this set, but I'm going to use it as my focal point on the front. I have some tassels here that I cut out as well. And so we are going to use this little guy that looks like a pennant. And then I've cut out some of these little tassel guys. We're going to use that up there as the little focal point so you know to pull out the card. decided to do the little tassel. And I did a little tassel in gold as well. I'm trying to layer the two on top of each other here. And then I was gonna do like a string, but oh yes, I did. I was gonna do the gold. All right. This is that gold like linen thread that I believe was on the last chance list. I'm gonna do it, double it up. Maybe. All right. We gotta figure out which is the, oh, this is the tassel. All right. So we're gonna put that right there. All right, so that's gonna go down inside. It's kind of hard the first time that you're trying to get it down inside. Once you kind of distress the paper a little bit, then they slide in and out pretty easy. I'm trying not to have my glue fall off. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna put this guy on the front. But before I do that, I want to stamp Make-A-Wish. So I'm gonna grab my Make-A-Wish. Put it in a block. And I'm going to grab Blueberry Bliss. Or Blueberry Bushel, rather, not Blueberry Bliss. Alright, so we're going to stamp Make-A-Wish over here. And we're going to just glue this right to the front. Just like that. Now I have my bucket of all the die cuts that come with the paper. And I already know what one I want. I just have to find it. I think this is it right here. No, that's too big. So maybe this one. Perfect. Okay, so I don't want to glue it. I don't want to glue it to all right, so I'll put a little glue there, a little glue there, and a little glue over here. There we go. All right. I didn't want to put the glue so that it sticks in my pocket, but there we have it. Isn't it cute? And then we have where you could put your little gift card on the inside. Whoops. That wasn't dry yet. Okay. Perfect. All righty. All right, next one. And this one you're going to really like. I had a lot of fun with this one. This one was a aha moment. I spent a bunch of time downstairs today working on seeds, and so this one was just perfect. It came out just right. All right, I'm using Simply Said as my salutation, and I grabbed the thank you, and I think I'm gonna do the thank you in Garden Green. I've used one of my Stylish Shape dies. Thank you. All right, so we have our card base I have the little piece left over. Oh, you know what? I don't need that. Okay, I don't need that. I was like, I don't have. So this time I don't have my little inside piece, and I'll show you why. All right. So this we're going to glue to the back of the seeds. And I'll show you where I got this from next. All right, so I'm going to have it so it sticks up a little bit. And it's just going to glue right to the package of seeds, just like that. So that can be sitting over there drying. All right, let's cut our paper. Now this is from that same market paper. To Market, it's called. And this is the tomatoes. Aren't they cute? All right, so let's cut it in half. They actually look like cherry tomatoes, but I didn't have a package of cherry tomato seeds. I already started cherry tomatoes, so this was a package of tomatoes that I happen to have left downstairs. Okay. And then we're going to turn this over. Now, why did we end up with them all going the same way? Why did it not work? I guess you really have to pay attention to your angles. But it worked before when I just flipped the paper over and did it. Better work this time. No, it's not gonna. It's all doing the same. Well, that's really weird. Well, I'm ending up with lots of angles on this one, but anyway. All right, so I have one going that way. They're all going to end up the same. Oh, God. Are you kidding me? All right, well, we're going to do it that way then. The heck with it. Don't you love it? Only on a Facebook Live. I don't know what I did wrong or what I did different. Anyway, let's do it this way. Okay. Well, I'm glad you know, Kelly. Why did it work when I just flipped them over with the other ones? Like, I don't understand why. I had no problem when I did my samples earlier today, just flipping it over. Yeah, I got plenty for a scrapbook page now. Whoops. And I'm doing the wrong. Hang on. There's also paper that has like cabbages and carrots and I think turnips and parsnips maybe. And so you could get different seeds, which would be kind of cool. All right, let's do these angles. And I have one more after this one to show you. And I don't think that one will make a difference either with the paper, but anyway. It was working with all the other ones. You just got to remember to do the opposite corners. That's right. Just opportunities. Opportunities to figure out for me to do what to do with all my angular paper, right? So, oh, come on. This part takes the most time here. There we go. Oops. Didn't all come off. But I wanted to show you that my little package of seeds fits right in there. So this would be a really cute card for you to do right now. You could do flower seeds, but I just thought these were really cute. And like I said, I was downstairs working with my seeds, and I happened to have a package of tomato seeds and was like, oh, that'll work perfect. And I'll show you here in a minute that they fit right down in there. My take your pick tool is also getting kind of sticky on the end, so I will be cleaning that with some alcohol too. All right. And so my seeds will fit right down in there. Oops. And we've got the little tag. And then I grabbed the Natural Tones linen thread, and this is on the last chance list. And I want the green. And I'm just gonna do a little, tie a little bow in there so that you know. And then this is just gonna get glued across the front. Whoops. Helps if you put it on there straight, Jewel. All right. And we're just going to do a little bow through the hole in my little tab here. Just like that. Isn't that cute? So you little will fit, your seeds will fit right in there. Perfect. All right. Now, last one. So if you're wondering where the little tag came that I used on the tomatoes, it comes from the Tags to Go stamp set and die. Okay, I did not buy this whole suite. I only bought the stamp set and the die. But this is on the Go suite, which I believe is online. Okay, so I used, for the last one, I used that tab. Okay, for this one, I'm going to use something a little different. We're also using the Humble Home Stamp and Punch, which is still available, even though it was in the holiday catalog. All right. I'm getting a mess here. I'm getting sticky tools. All right, let's grab my cutter. Let's see if I can do this one this time. So I have a piece of crumb cake this time. All right, I have all my little stuff to decorate. We're gonna cut this down to 3 1/4. This is my inside piece. We need 5 1/4. 5 1/4, And this is from the Country Woods paper, which I believe is staying. It will be in the next catalog. We only need that at 3 inches. That's going to go on the bottom of this. Let's just go ahead and put it right on there. Just like that. All right, let's see if I can do this now. So corner to corner. And so we're going to flip this over. Flip this over this way. Yep, this way. Stop and think. Did it! All right. Perfect, perfect. All right. So this one, I think I'll just kind of lay out for you here because we're getting on. Oh, maybe I could do it real quick. So I've cut that out. The reason I bought that tags to go, stamp set and die, was for the keys. I loved the key dies that were in there. I just thought they were pretty cool. Something different that I don't think we've ever had before. So that was why I went with that. I can smell dinner. It smells really good. I'm hungry. I have been right straight out today, and I'm hungry. I have both granddaughters tomorrow because we have spring break. So I have some craft stuff planned for them tomorrow. So I have worked on that today. So yeah. All right, I also cut out this little die piece. Look at my little key. I have this piece. I stamped my little house. And then this guy, because I needed some windows and stuff for my house. So I'm going to fussy cut those off of those. All right. Let's see. They say if you burnish this, it pops off a little better. Yeah, that did work. Oh, I'm ripping it off too fast. There we go. That was a little better. So I hope you guys like this card. Thank you so much for stopping in. If you are not following along and you're going to do it later, that's fine too. The video will post to my Stamping with Julia page. And if you, like I said, later on, I'm going to take my card samples and I'm going to post them as a post. And then underneath the post, you should be able to post pictures of the ones that you made. Alrighty, so let's put this on this side. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to do the welcome home. And we're going to stamp that on this little guy. This is also in the stamp set. This is going to get glued up there, but I kind of want it like that. So let's put a little liquid glue on that. How was your supper, Connie? Okay. So this is going to slide down in there. Once you slide them in and out a couple of times, like I said, it slides much easier. Once you do it a couple of times, it kind of distresses the paper a little bit, which I think is kind of cool. All right, we need the little house over there. So this would be really cool if you know somebody that's just bought a house, which I can't imagine a lot of that is happening in this economy, but maybe. So, all right, I need the little windows and the door from this. So I'm going to fussy cut this guy out. And we'll put that on with a little liquid glue. They ran out of spaghetti. Oh my goodness. Guess there was more people came than they had expected, huh? We have my son, the Grange up here does a monthly dinner, and he loves to go, and I think this month might be ham dinner. I know last month was corned beef. They usually do a roast beef one. He loves to go. Oops. Way too much. Way too much. All right, we're going to do a little window over here. And then let's cut our other little window out. Do you see my little key? Isn't it cute? I love the keys. There's one that looks like an old-fashioned key, which is really, that was probably my selling point for that set. All right. There's also a cute little lock. Look at the little lock. Isn't that cute? That was why I bought the set. I was going to just get the dies, and then I decided that there was some cute little sayings in there, so I decided. All right, so we're going to bring that thread back. This time we're going to use the copper clay one. And we're going to tie our little key to our little top part. And then I will get them all out so you can see them all. All right, and there you have it. Perfect. All right, let's get them all back out here. Let's clean up my mess. Think of me later when I'm going through my garbage looking for the lid to my Take Your Pick tool. I still can't believe I dropped that down in there. All right, here we go. Let's put this one back down in there now. I think it will slide down in there this time. There we go. We got the little bird one, and then we've got this one. Aren't they fun? I think they're fun. So, great way, like I said, you could do little seed packets, which would really be really cute. You could do gift cards attached to them. Little money could be attached to them. This one here is really cute with the key and the little house. We've got the bird, a little gift certificate for some bird seed would be cute for that one. Yeah, so there you have it. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm glad, and I hope you, so just remember on the dimensions that we lowered the 3.5 by 4 3/4 white or lighter color of cardstock. we're doing that at 3 1/4, okay? And it just slides in and out a little bit easier at the 3 1/4 than the 3 1/2. Okay, and then just be careful when you're cutting your angles. Obviously, pay attention to your angles when you're cutting them, so that you can have the two angles. And if you're using DSP that's all over, you can make 2 more cards. So, okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for stopping in. And like I said, I will be making a post, and you will be able to post your cards, your samples, to the post. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, we have the new catalog coming out. Don't forget to check the last chance list. If you haven't signed up for this month's Paper Pumpkin, it looks like it's going to be a real pretty one. I'm looking forward to this one. As always, check the online store. All kinds of good things in the online store. Also, the new catalog will have some scrapbooking things in it. And if you saw my post on Monday, I'm curious to see what kind of scrapbooking kits you are hoping are going to be in the new catalog. All right. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Hopefully, we will all be stamping together real soon. I hope you enjoyed the mystery card night. I'll be back Friday night with my Friday Night Live. And as always, thanks for watching. And hopefully we'll be stamping together real soon. Thanks.